What is up, Biker Bros? This is Nathan from the Gen Z Biker Blog, and I'm here today with yet another representative from Harley Davidson, the OEM. This is Joseph. He is a PR representative, and he is here to talk today about kind of the future of Harley Davidson here on my channel. So without further ado, Joseph, you are a PR rep for Harley Davidson, correct?
So public relations lead. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to meet with me. So I've got a list of questions here on my phone, and we're kind of going to go over them. And like I said, the direction of this interview is kind of talking about the future of Harley Davidson and who they're trying to promote their bikes to, and some of the new efforts at becoming unique that they have. So my first question was, what is Harley doing to promote motorcycling to the female segment?
Yeah, it's a great question, and one we answered in a broader way. In 2018, we announced our More Road Strategy announcement, which we're going to talk about a couple different pieces of that. One is new product, which is highly exciting. One is broader access, and one is stronger dealers. So within that broader access is talking about how we can broaden the access of motorcycling and Harley Davidson to more people. So we're not specifically targeting women from saying we're going to make X product for women. It's really about fitting product to different types of body types, of experience levels, of backgrounds, so they can feel more comfortable on the motorcycle. This is going to be done both through new product. It can also be done through new product families such as EV, which is twist and go and easier to ride for everyone. And it's also possible through parts and accessories. So really honing in on how you can customize a motorcycle for your specific fit. It also even goes to Harley Davidson genuine merchandise as well. It's about feeling comfortable on the bike, feeling comfortable in more situations, and ultimately being more confident to ride longer. So it's more options for ergonomic comfort. So that could be easy reach seats, it's different bars for lower or higher in case you're taller or shorter, different peg heights, widths, lengths, and where you can place them on the motorcycle. And then there's EV. So we have parts and accessories lineup with Livewire that just debuted in 2020. We call it there's a seat with a 1-inch lower seat height. We call it the slammer seat. So even if you really like the Livewire, but you have a slightly shorter inseam, whether you're female or just shorter in general, you can fit the motorcycle more comfortably.
Awesome. And for those of you that haven't seen it yet, you could click the link above to check out my test ride video review over at the Harley Davidson Museum just down the street here on that Livewire I rode as soon as it came out, right over at the Harley Davidson Museum. So my next question for you, Joseph, what are Harley's plans for further innovating their e-bike lineup? I know you just kind of briefly touched on that, but we've heard a lot through the press and such about Harley Davidson creating more electric bicycles and some other kind of electric motorcycles. Could you speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely. In that 2018 More Roads announcement, under new products was leading in the electrification of motorcycling. And that is a full leadership effort. Starting with Livewire as the top of the portfolio, as the premium entry and best of breed in terms of fit and finish and performance. And then following that is that broader portfolio. So we've shown e-bicycles, which will be available in 2020, which are designed Harley Davidson product. They're not logo or badge slaps. They are fully designed as Harley Davidson products. We also have shown 2 lightweight electric concepts, and we've also shown a middleweight electric concept as well. And these will give additional price points, additional form factors, additional ways to ride, some not requiring a license at all to ride. We've also last year acquired STACYC, which makes e-balance bikes for kids aged 3 to 7. There's a Harley Davidson version called the Iron E12 and E16, and that's a fantastic way to get people into motorcycling as soon as they can twist the throttle.
Yeah, really promoting that next generation of riders from a very young age. We have seen those in some of my other videos, and I personally know that I actually love watching the kids hop on those and twist the throttle going around that mini, so to say, flat track at your local power sport events.
It's really cool, seeing, we had a live demo at X Games where we set up a small call it like flat track course. And kids that couldn't even ride a bicycle were getting on an irony and up and riding in under 30 minutes. And the look on their face was incredible. It's, you know, the same as an adult on two wheels, but they couldn't get enough. And it's really exciting to see that next generation right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in, you know, promoting the next generation of riders, and I think the first part to that is getting people to throw a leg over, whether it's a little kid or you know, an elderly person. As soon as they throw that leg over, it's basically a done deal from what I've seen. So my next question, how does Harley Davidson plan on competing with some of the other e-bikes in the industry? And I know you can't really talk too much on the competitors, but what are you guys doing, I guess, to set yourself aside from some of those other competitors, like Zero and Yamaha and other companies like that?
Yeah, the e-motorcycle space is exciting because it's a new white space for everyone. And when we say we're going to lead in two wheels, we mean it. And how we are going to do that is through the product, both from the quality standpoint, the performance standpoint, the experience standpoint, the dealership network, the support. It's a comprehensive lifestyle and life cycle of ownership.
Okay.
We also intend to lead from a grid perspective and an ecosystem perspective. Every Harley Davidson authorized Livewire dealership has a DC fast charger on premise to charge Livewire, for instance. We also have partnerships with Electrify America, which are putting DC fast chargers on major corridors in the United States. And we're also offering free charging for a year at Livewire dealerships. And we're also offering 500 kilowatt hours of free charging on Electrify America chargers. So it's both the product and it's how people interact with that product as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like really trying to make the products more accessible to anyone that wants to get involved into it, right?
And it's also a largely it's marketing and emotional as well. There's no brand that can design a motorcycle like Harley Davidson to really speak to the emotional side of the brain. So it's how Livewire is designed. It's how EV motorcycles from Harley Davidson are designed to be just as emotional as they are fun to ride.
Yeah. So now, kind of a question off the whim a little bit. There's no doubt about it that the Livewire is an expensive bike. I mean, price range, it comes in similarly to some of your more performance baggers on the lineup. Do you guys have like a time frame on how long you think it's going to take for that technology to become more affordable so that you could offer these bikes at more of an accessible price range?
Sure.
Is there something kind of like that out there, like a plan?
Well, Livewire was designed to meet its price point not only in the technology but also in its overall fit and finish, its quality. It was designed as the first premium entry.
The poster child.
Correct.
Right?
The lead single of a full album of EV product to come. And so it's not necessarily just the technology question of coming down, but what form factors are more accessible or affordable.
Okay.
Livewire is a 15.5 kilowatt hour pack. It's very large, it's very powerful, you can get a lot of range. But if you're looking at something like an e-bicycle or an Iron E12 and E16, significantly less expensive. I mean, the Iron E12 starts at $699.
Yeah.
So we're looking at price points starting in the EV portfolio for the adult size riders at a few $1,000s and going all the way up.
Oh, okay.
That's not necessarily about Livewire coming down. The Livewire will remain as the premium Halo entry.
Okay.
There will just be additional products with different capabilities to fit those different price points.
So the next question, when can we expect more information in terms of engine specs and pricing for the new models? In particular, the 1250 Custom. Obviously, we've got information, some basic information about the Bronx and the Pan America. If you guys saw my most recent video, you could click the link above. And check that out once again on the Bronx and Pan America at IMS, the International Motorcycle Show in Chicago. But so we kind of had a little bit of a teaser with the custom, like the 1250, when the Bronx and Pan America were first released. Are we going to get any more information about that in the near future, as well as more specs and pricing and color options for the Bronx and Pan America?
Absolutely. So I can't comment on future products specifically. We did show the custom 1250 concept during our More Roads announcement, which was also that enter new segments portion of that new products plan. But I can say with Pan American Bronx, as you've seen, it's got the new Revolution Max powertrain, which is all new, a 60-degree water-cooled engine. And what we can say is in Q4, and as we get closer to those dates, we'll have more details on weight, price, color, spec. Very exciting products. Riders all over, both Harley fans and not, are stoked about it, and so are we. We intend to fully compete in these very competitive segments, both in the United States and abroad, and these are going to be the products to do it.
So, at the latest, will we be able to be playing around with those bikes at the museum come summer?
I would say Q4 is
Okay.
where we're targeting.
Okay.
So we'll have more details as we get closer to that date, but I can't speak technically to the marketing schedule or the calendar or anything like that.
Great. In the previous month or so has been some kind of back and forth between OEMs in terms of advertising and marketing. In particular, one of your competitors, obviously, Indian Motorcycle, kind of released the Indian Challenger as a challenger bike to obviously the Road Glide.
Sure.
Like I said, I know you can't speak necessarily on behalf of competitors or what you guys are doing back and forth with competitors, but Indian kind of recently dropped that Challenger advertising campaign. You guys combated a little bit with the kind of speaking on behalf of the heritage of Harley, not growing up wanting a Polaris or whatnot. What are your guys' thoughts on kind of working together with OEMs in general to promote the sport? I know obviously in the end of the day you're here to sell bikes and make money, but on top of that, the industry is kind of struggling right now, and you guys need to kind of promote riding for new riders and continue on the sport. Do you guys have any plans at essentially working with other OEMs in the near future? I know unofficially I have talked with some other OEMs, and they have mentioned that they're speaking with you guys and trying to work together to promote the industry. Can you speak on behalf of that at all?
I can't. I can't speak on any discussions that may or may not be happening.
Yeah.
But I can speak to our goal is moved from building great motorcycles, which we will continue to build, to building riders. And we build riders, and then we build the motorcycle to fit that need. And that's all part of that More Road strategy announcement. Now, we want to grow the sport of motorcycling. We want to grow it to 4 million in the United States, up from 3 million. That's an aggregate total rider. We also want to expand in Europe and international markets. But really, that's a different mindset. So
Yeah.
it's amplifying the brand. It's broadening access and ways to ride. It's an effort right now that's Harley Davidson alone, but also working with the industry and industry partners on how we can collaborate. I can say we also intend to continue to lead in heavyweight motorcycling. We know that there are more Harley Davidsons on the road right now than there have been ever before.
Okay.
Many of those are used. Many of them are also new. So we want to continue to build those products and also lean on the back of our fantastic dealer network, which is a international network of individual businesses that support this brand in an incredible way.
Okay.
And that they're a key part in that, and that's honestly a huge asset for the brand to have, because when you look at other players in the industry, they don't have that.
Okay.
They don't have the parts support. So
Great.
It's really awesome to see everybody growing the sport. And so it's going to take more than one OEM, but we're very excited with Harley Davidson's plan to grow riders.
Awesome. So last but not least, a lot of people have interest, especially motorcycle riders themselves, in working in the power sport industry, myself being one of them. So if you could give the viewers maybe your top 3 tips on how to get a job within the motorcycling industry, in particular with Harley, you know.
Sure.
What would your top 3 tips be?
I mean, Harley Davidson is always looking for, and the power sports industry is always looking for those talented, driven, goal-oriented people to help grow the sport of motorcycling. I mean, as you touched on, everyone's trying to grow, everyone's trying to expand, and that's both inside the industry and outside. I would say for anyone viewing the video or anyone wondering, like, how can I know I don't work in OEM, what can I do? Being an ambassador for motorcycling and bringing a friend to a bike show or bringing a family member or just being a very large beacon for the sport is awesome. For working the power sports industry, it's awesome.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it for everyone. It's a vibrant industry. It's full of passionate individuals. It's very much a job that I've gotten a ton of great self-worth out of and achievement, and met some of my best friends through. And I would say if there's one thing to set yourself apart, it's just continuing to show what you can do. There's continuing to meet people at bike shows and be a positive ambassador for the sport. The power sports industry is smaller, so it's amazing how individual connections can help you much farther down the line.
Okay.
So I would never feel discouraged if you do get turned down once or twice. Work any angle you can to get in, because it is smaller as well. So it's not like jobs are everywhere, but
Yeah.
the jobs that are available, and I can speak to working at Harley Davidson, it's a fantastic organization to work for. There's tons of passionate people everywhere you bump into. Everyone's working to build not only riders but also just great motorcycles.
Okay.
And that my recommendation is just keep working, keep applying, and keep grinding.
Okay. Kind of going off of that, in terms of, you know, building the brand and, you know, building the next generation of riders, have you guys talked about kind of working a little bit closer with, you know, universities and other schools to kind of not only build the next generation of riders, but to build the next generation of employees for Harley Davidson? I know particularly I go to Marquette University, and you know, we have career fairs now and then, but it's been kind of rare to see a presence from Harley at those career fairs. Do you guys have plans on trying to work with universities a little bit more?
Absolutely. So we're expanding college recruiting efforts. We're expanding the talent as we go into EV and other segments. We're expanding the talent base we're looking for from Harley Davidson. And we're also working with universities in new and interesting ways too. Like last year we piloted a program with the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and to have Riding Academy for college credit. So
Yeah.
there's very interesting ways that we'll be working both from a career perspective but also from a ridership perspective and showing the benefits of riding in new ways.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Joseph. I appreciate you coming onto the channel today. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Harley Davidson's social pages. They've got some really, really great ad campaigns that have recently released, and they're putting out some absolutely amazing content. But thank you to Joseph for coming out today and being a guest on the channel. It was really great talking to you, Joseph, and learning a little bit more about the future of Harley Davidson. So make sure to stay tuned for future uploads. Ride safe out there, biker bros. Stay tuned.